What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Talks, and we're here with our SBT Week 2 game. We played Mr. Piranha Plant. The dock's a bit laggy, so bear with me, but he's right here. He has Megalade, Azumarill, Weavile, Chandelier, Orbeetle, Flygon, Nidoking, Snorlax, Magneton, Vaporeon, Eldegoss. Forgot to mention, we're coming off a 6-0 win from week 1, so we are expecting to do quite well in this battle as well, because this guy came off, well, going into week 2, this guy was 0-1 -6 differential. I believe he got 6-0'd by Ominous Draco, but let's get into the matchup. So I already discussed his team. Our team is Mega Mawile, Hydreigon, Slowking, Florges, Nidoqueen. He had Nidoking, I had Nidoqueen, Shaman, Talonflame, Steelix, Lycanroc Dusk, Rotom-Frost, and Grimer Alola. But so going into this matchup, I saw that it wasn't very good. My team has no way of killing Snorlax. Like, if he manages to get a curse up on any of my mons, for example Talonflame, it can kind of curse on Talonflame for free, or like, I mean, it can curse on Shaman, it can curse on Nidoqueen, it can curse on Florges, it can curse on Slowking, it can curse on, maybe it can even curse on Hydra. Like, it can quite literally curse on anything on my team except for Mega Mawile. And if it tries to curse on Steelix, I can probably just explode and take half. I don't think it can curse on Lycanroc either. But I needed Talonflame in this matchup too, because I need something to revenge Gallade, and I also needed Gale Wings to help with the Azumarill. Also, so like, going into my Talonflame set, I was like, okay, well, I need something that doesn't let Snorlax set up on me for free. So, going into the prep, I went ahead and brought Willow, Bravebird, SD, Roost. So that was one of the ways, or that was like one of the only sets Talonflame could shut down Snorlax, which is the biggest threat on his team, other than Mega Gallade. Handling Mega Gallade, I had one switch in, it could come in one time. That was the only thing my team had to offer though. It was Slowking, it was Trick Room. Oh yeah, I'm also bringing Trick Room because Trick Room Mega Mawile kind of claims one every single time against this team if I manage to pull it off correctly. So, not only here am I going to have to play extremely carefully around Snorlax, but I'm going to have to play carefully around Gallade, because I have one guaranteed switch in one time, and that's it. But on the bright side, Mega Mawile comes in and claims it every time. But this was obviously a pretty losing matchup for me, because my team quite literally had no way of checking Gallade more than once, and it didn't have a way of... oh yeah, Slowking was also my Nidoking check, which, I mean, once Gallade chips it down too much, you can't check Nidoking, so, I mean, that's a thing too, right? So this Mawile set, it's designed to come in and sub, it's designed to come in and intimidate, get an Intimidate off on Weavile or Azumarill, and then sub on them, because with this defense spread, quite literally nothing Azumarill can break my sub. Weavile can't break it even if I don't get the Intimidate off, because Weavile's weak as fuck. But, yes, it's designed to sit behind a sub and do its thing and trigger him. It'll claim around 2 or 3, I think, every time if I'm able to get some good rolls. The Shaman is designed, I believe it's designed to take on stuff like Vaporeon and Revenge Chandelier. It's also my Azumarill chick, like my standard Azumarill chick, because I don't want this thing getting chipped, Mega Mawile getting chipped too much. Hydra is my Gallade bait, so this set is designed to bait in Gallade for revenge and Draco it and try and kill it if I'm not already at -2. If I am at -2, well, I don't really have a switch into a CC other than Slowking, but I mean, if I'm at -2, they might as well knock, so I might as well just let him pop Colbur, or not Colbur, might as well let him pop Chople if they arc against CC. And just get the U-turn chip, it'll do about 40, so that's not bad. I do need chip on it anyways, so like a Seed Flare can kill, or like a Sucker Punch, or just chip for anything, you know. This Steelix is my Suicide Lead. I figured a Suicide Lead would be really good here, so like Snorlax can't just come in and shut me down right off the bat. So it's designed to come in and get my rocks up, maybe pop sturdy and just explode. But if he doesn't make any aggressive plays around it, I can just go ahead and just preserve it, I guess. But yeah, that's the plan. this team is really designed around not getting fucked by Snorlax, and also breaking with Trick Room with Gallade, or not Gallade, with Mawile. I mean, I could have brought Lycanroc here too, because Lycanroc has quite a good matchup, but I felt like Vaporeon just was too annoying for my team to handle, and I needed all of these mons to do its thing, because I didn't really want to run Stealth Rocks on my Lycanroc. I thought Steelix was much more reliable rocker, and rocks really helped me handle things like Weavile and Shandy. It also gave me chip on stuff like Nidoking, Gallade, which is really good for me. So I went ahead and went with Steelix. And yeah, that's the prep. Now let's get into the game. So right off the bat, I see that he brings most of the threats. No Vaporeon. He brings Shandy, no Weavile, which means that's less things for my Mawile to sub on, which wasn't very good. But he did bring the Azumarill on the bright side, so that is something I can definitely sub on. But going into this, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hope he doesn't lead Snorlax, because if he doesn't lead Snorlax, I can get my rocks up and Exploder off the bat. And that's free. So I'm like, okay, leading Steelix is kind of my only option here. I could have also led maybe Slowking on like maybe a Gallade lead or something, or like a Shandy lead, but I mean, Steelix was the game plan, so let's see what happens. Okay, he leads Flygon, so right off the bat I'm like, okay, free rocks, whatever. He clicks U-turn. He's kind of playing it like, I mean, this is kind of early to predict, right? But I saw that damage and I was like, well, he's not very invested. Like, he's probably Scarf, because Scarf makes a lot of sense in this matchup. It's able to revenge Talonflame if I'm not going. It's also able to do stuff to my other mons, my fast mons, like Lycanroc. It was one of his better ways of revenging Lycanroc without having to speed tie or anything. So right off the bat, I thought it was Scarf, because Scarf made a lot of sense here. So he go ahead and makes an offensive U-turn play right into the fucking threat, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm just gonna have to explode and take it. Hope I can take half, and then take it on with Will-O-Wisp Talonflame, because at +1, about at half, Mawile couldn't kill it at that range if it was very defensive invested. So off of this explosion damage, I was able to see if it's very invested in physical defense. And it does 53, so it is like very, very defensive. So I'm like, okay, Mawile can't kill from this range, so I'm gonna have to go into Talonflame and 1v1 it, and hopefully I can get some good sleep turns going. So I go Talonflame and I get a Willow off. Yep. I believe he just curses again. I'm like, okay, free Swords Dance, because Body Slam doesn't kill. Thankfully, he gets no pair off after the Body Slam, and here I'm like, okay, I can Swords Dance one more time, so I'm able to kill it, because I think he's probably resting here. Rest is the obvious play, because Body Slam doesn't 2-KO me. He does rest, and I'm going to go ahead and Brave Bird him down. So I'm taking a lot of recoil from this. I didn't really think this through, but I go ahead and Brave Bird one more time. And here I should have just Brave Birded again. This is where I misplayed. I was hoping for max sleep turns, right? But he didn't, unfortunately. I was baiting on him getting max sleep turns, because if I was able to preserve Talonflame here, it would have been a lot easier for me. Because look at how much Talonflame did to this fucking team. It literally broke through every single mana of this team. But unfortunately, so I try to roost here, right? I get a little bit greedy. I think killing this would have been better for me, because you'll see why after, but I go ahead and just roost here because I want max sleep turns. It'll benefit me. So let's just, I'm just like, come on, don't wake up. And he wakes up, and I'm like, well, shit, he's gonna kill me now. So he kills me. I'm like, well, shit, I have to revenge with, well, dude, I don't know what I was thinking here. I could have just revenged with Mawile, because Mawile just comes in and claims one at this point, but I go ahead and I fucking revenge with Hydreigon for some reason, and I drop a Draco, which is a really bad play on my part. I'm gonna admit, I didn't really play this early game very well, but I kill it, which, well, good, the threat's gone, right? It broke through half my team, but it's still good. And then he comes into revenge with Gallade. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if he's clicking Knock here, because Knock's pretty free. And even if he does click CC, I'm gonna get like 40 off after the defense drop with a U-turn. So U-turn's my safest play, I think, preserving my Glade check later on. He does click CC, I'm like, well shit, that's not good. But I do click U-turn and I do a shit ton. I do 29. He's pretty invested though. And then I go into Slow King, I'm like, okay, free Trick Room, right? This is where I can start cooking with Mawile. He goes Alzu, I'm like, whoa, this is like a perfect situation. I can literally just go hard Mawile, get the Intimidate drop, and then sub, and then claim like a couple. And I do just that. Third Ref does 24 to pre-mega, so this is going to do jack shit to mega. So I go ahead and sub. And he clicks Iron Tail. It doesn't matter, it wouldn't have broke my sub, I'm too defensive. It would have broken no defense sub. But it doesn't break my sub. Yeah, we calced after. Yeah, it didn't break my sub. But here I go ahead and claim a couple. Let's play see what he goes into. He goes into Magneton, and it is a like 90, or not 90, that's kind of ridiculous. I'm pretty sure it was like a 60 to 70% chance for me to kill this with an Awk after rocks. But unfortunately, I get a low roll, so that limits one less kill that I can get here. So yeah, I go and Sucker Punch, take it out. Well, then Glade just fucked half his team, so okay, Snorlax takes 2 of mine. Mawile takes 2 of his. I mean, that's not bad, right? And we're obviously in a winning position here, but here he can just go back into like Shandy and start doing his thing, right? So here you go, Shandy. I'm like, okay, obviously he's fearing Sucker Punch, so he's obviously like substitute for his Calm Mind here, right? So I'm like, well, the safest play all around is going into Hydra because it covers not only sub, but it also covers Calm Mind, doing like half to it at +1. But so I go ahead and go hard Hydra. And he subs as I predicted, so I can just break the sub and then proceed to revenge with Shaman with Earth Power. Let's see. Alright, yeah, I do go Shaman and I Earth Power here. He makes a good play by going into Levitate Flagon. So here I'm like, okay, well, I have to get these plays right if I want to win this game at this point. Because he's obviously going to U-turn here. So I'm going to stay in and I'm going to Seed Flare and hopefully pick up a kill here with the Seed Flare. Because Seed Flare into Earth Power kills Shandy after rocks. And Seed Flare does like 30 to Glade, and then I eat a CC after a U-turn, so I can go ahead and pick that off as well. So Seed Flare here is my safest play. U-turn does a shitload. He goes Glade, takes Rocks Chip plus Seed Flare, and I'm like, okay, well I'm at 62. CC does around 50 or 55-ish. I can't really remember, but yeah. So I go ahead and I pick this off with the Earth Power most likely. CC does like 64. He got like I think he got like a Adamant, really well roll with Adamant or something. But doesn't really matter because the goal was just to kill this. So we'll go and pick that off. Really good for me because now at this range, he only has Flygon and Shandy left, and both of those get like basically one shot by Mawile and Trick Room. And they also lose to Slow King, so because Slow King eats Shandy hits for days. I mean, Shadow Ball does like 60, but that's a free Trick Room. And then I can do my thing after that. So yeah, I'm in a pretty good position here. He goes into Flygon, he probably just U-turns. Yep. I just sack this off. There's no reason to lose momentum for him going Shandy. Okay, he does go Shandy, and then I go to Slow King, and I Trick Room up, and I win the game. There isn't much he could have done here, because he was at 44, right? Even if he did substitute, I could have just spammed Scald, and then I would have had one extra Trick Room with Mawile left over, so I could have killed his Flygon afterwards. So yeah, I do Trick Room, and I just Scald twice, I believe, or just Scald once, yeah. And then I Scald the Flygon coming in, and then kill with Mawile. Yep. And I just pick it off of Mawile, and that's the game. Really close game. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like underestimated this guy because I mean he didn't really have a really well week 1 showing, right? But he really, I mean, if I'm being honest, nothing super surprising on his team because everything was kind of standard. He brought the threats though, which was, I mean, good on his half, I guess. But he did bring the threats that really fucked over my team. But I think I played the early game really well, like really bad. Like I kind of choked early game almost, but I managed to bring it back late game with the Trick Room shit.
Save lives. Help stop coronavirus.
with the I managed to win the late game, which is pretty much all that mattered. So I'll catch you guys later. It's your boy Talks. I'm out.